Ha
What up? What
Welcome,
up?
welcome back to the not televised revolution. It's the
Yes, sir.
Godfather
Yes,
himself.
sir. Oh, shit.
All right, man. I can open your mind, but I'm not really worried about sewing them back together anymore these days. Like it's such a crazy
Mm-mm.
place. Let's just leave those minds like cracked wide open.
It's a COVID realm. It's COVID world. It's COVID world, man. It's everything is backwards, bro. You put on a mask to go to a corner store. That used to be a felony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Before you go into a gas station to put on a fucking mask. What's seen as like you're trying to rob the place or something,
yup,
right?
yup,
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how backwards that shit sounds like now? You know what I mean?
yup. Now you looked at like a criminal if you're not wearing a mask.
Isn't that the opposite?
Yeah, let's leave those minds just split open on the sidewalk and
I mean, look, and no, as much as I support wearing a mask, for example, in medical buildings, places, medical offices, public places, public gatherings, grocery stores.
right.
I agree. Wearing masks do like it detains the spread of disease because
Absolutely, yeah.
no, for the user, it doesn't prevent you from catching anything. Okay?
Right.
I just want people to realize that shit for real.
Yeah.
It doesn't prevent you from catching anything at all.
No, this
But
technology is centuries old. We figured it out ever since
exactly.
we defeated
Yeah.
the
The,
plague
the
of the
the
Middle Ages.
tuberculosis, the Black Plague, I mean, you
Yeah.
name it. Um, Basically, wearing a mask just prevents you from spreading disease to others who
Yep.
are more susceptible. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing.
Oh, I know, and you live in Texas too, so you
Yeah.
must have this
So you
conversation
have these
almost every
cats
day.
walking and talking about, I don't want to wear a fucking mask. I'm like, all right, whatever. Everybody else is. So, okay, whatever. Fuck off. You know? Seriously. You just have to let them be.
Right. Jeez.
No, no. If you tried to confront one of those people in the parking lot, they'd pull a gun on you, and then they'd call the cops. It's called a Karening. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And if you're black, Jesus Christ, may God help you, because when someone calls the cops on someone who is unfortunately not wealthy or not white, um, it almost means certain death. I mean, even for white folks that are like not rich,
Right.
it means certain death to call the cops on someone else. You know what I mean? No, for real.
Pretty much. I mean, they're not really there. They're there to protect and serve the property owners, not the people. I mean, really.
No, not at all, brother. Let me ask you this question real quick,
Yeah.
okay? I'm a paramedic. I'm a public servant by the stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
So, by my mind, I like what I do because I get to help people and get paid while I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a win-win for me in my mind, right? So now I need to be really careful in how I do my job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at any moment, any one of my patients can sue me.
Yeah.
You know, can say that I treated them wrong or I did this to them, or
Right.
and then I would lose my license and I wouldn't be able to be a paramedic anymore, right?
Right.
Why are police not subjected to the same treatment?
Right.
Like, most police officers can literally kill a person in their line of work and still be police officers.
Right.
Is that fair?
Nope. Not at all.
I mean, firefighters. No, 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 for real. If a firefighter is caught stealing something, from a burning property, right?
Right.
The house is on fire. Everything's about to go. You're a firefighter. Guess what? You can loot the place if you wanted to. salvage all the good stuff, right? But guess what'll happen to you if you do that, right?
Right.
So why are police allowed to kill people in their line of work?
Right. So, yeah, we have a number of topics today to talk about, and the police are definitely one of them. And what are your thoughts on? Let's start with defunding the police.
Okay, by defunding the police, I mean, the military budget, the tanks, all that military stuff, it's not necessary for policing the community.
Right.
I swear to God, it is not. You know?
Right. Did you notice that Bernie Sanders tried to cut the military budget by 10% to bring it back to 2017's budget, and that got
Yeah,
shot down hard?
of course, immediately. No, because both parties are for war.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And until we face that reality, we can't wake up and realize that in this next election, we must protest. We must vote for a third party, regardless, for anybody else. Shit, if you want, vote for Kanye West. I don't care. You know, you just have to vote for anyone else in the two-party system. We have to reject politics as usual.
Now, look,
Okay.
you know that I like that. You know that I like that a lot. Like, if the Green Party had someone good coming up this time, someone better than who they
Howard
have.
Hawkins
Hang on,
sucks, bro.
hang on,
For real.
hang on.
No. Oh man, I don't like the guy. I
Yeah,
really
Howie
don't.
Hawkins is not a cool guy. No.
Bro, I can get behind Jill Stein any day.
Yeah,
Howie
I would be
Hawkins
thrilled.
totally fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
Okay. So, but look, that actually is a great segue to the next thing I wanted to talk about. Is once Donald Trump announced he was going to send, you know, the feds after us and like just pick us up off the streets, you know, in unmarked
What did
cars
you
without
expect him to do?
badges. Like he's
No, no.
unmarked feds.
Okay. Let me ask you, bro. His dad was a member of the KKK. What did you expect him to do?
Well,
No,
my
his father was a member of the Ku Klux Klan, brother.
I think you're
What the
talking
fuck
about his
did you expect him
uncle.
to do?
Well, yeah.
He's scared for his life. Honestly, he needs the feds to protect him. Because this country is going in flames, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they're printing money like it's nothing. Okay? We are completely dependent on China. And guess what? We're trying to pick a war with them. How
So
stupid is all of this?
very dumb, very dumb. Yeah, China's a great topic to touch on too. But
No,
I'm
no,
gonna get to
no.
that
Check it
later.
out. No, check it out. The Chinese consulate in my city, in Houston, Texas, was just shut down.
Dumb.
I just saw footage of the people in China, in the Chinese consulate, burning documents inside of a barrel.
Yeah.
They called the fire department, and the fire department was denied access to the Chinese consulate because of diplomatic immunity. I mean, that to me that means we're in a new Cold War, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're already at war with China. I mean, shit, you can count the days which the bombs will drop. But I guarantee you this right now, okay? That anybody who's listening, anybody who's recording this, buy cryptocurrency or get out of the fiat U.S. dollar system, okay?
Oh yeah.
Because pretty hyperinflation will make it almost impossible for you to live, okay?
And yeah, and that's at the drop of China's whim. China can just
Look,
boom.
bro, I already see people lined up around the block every weekend trying to get food because they can't work
Yeah.
because of the coronavirus. So that's how fragile economically people are. They're not prepared to survive for 3 or 6 months without any like resources or food or anything, you know?
Right.
Most people aren't. You know, I thank God that I'm a paramedic and this pandemic actually increased my workload.
You're needed. You're the
Yeah,
definition of
I'm in the
essential.
front lines. But guess what? I don't get any special treatment or special pay. I'm
So
right there with the patients.
right, right. So I did have a specific question to answer or to ask you, because on my last podcast, I had a black guest, and he said he was totally cool with Trump sending in these federal goons to arrest people off the street at
Oh,
random. And he
no,
said, here's the reason he said why. He said because it's been happening to black people forever, so the rest of us should just get used to it.
that's a lie. Because I protested for Breonna Taylor
Yeah,
and George Floyd
yeah,
because they were protests in my city for that. Now Breonna Taylor is special to me because she was also a healthcare worker. She was also a EMT, a paramedic.
right.
She was shot in her own home by police for absolutely no reason at all.
Right. That was the no knock warrant, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
no knock.
Yep.
They just busted in the house and started shooting at people.
Yep.
Now they want to charge her boyfriend with a felony for shooting back. You know, this
What
is
was it?
Texas.
2 in the morning.
Hmm. Yeah, this is Texas, and you know, I guarantee you, if you come busting down my door at 2 in the morning, I don't know who the fuck you are. You don't identify yourself. You don't know. You don't tell me who you are. I will unleash my shotgun on you. You know,
Fair enough.
that's just a fact. That's how I defend my home and my children. You know,
Yeah.
why? You know, none of these officers faced any charges for wrongfully killing someone. They weren't even targeting.
Right.
Or I mean, even lost their licenses. I mean, are they still police officers? I mean, you know,
Right. Yeah.
like it
Even if a cop gets fired, they can just move over to the next town and work for that department.
yeah, yes, yes, totally.
So that's all kinds of messed up.
Yeah, but we have to worry about giving the wrong drug or giving an expired drug or dropping a patient and losing our license and losing our whole lives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the same line of work, really.
Well, technically, yes. I mean, you actually do protect and serve the public, but that's just what they says
Take
on
them
their cars.
from themselves, bro.
Yeah.
Most people, you know, incur the damage on themselves. It's job security for me, you know.
Wow. So, let's go over a little bit of Antifa. Like, do you really think that all leftists are crazy anarchists that want to destroy our history and our
Hell
country?
no. Hell no.
Okay.
People forget there is a whole alternate community, okay, a whole conspiracy community that are not Antifa, but that are definitely anti-government and anti-bullshit.
Mm.
You know, like okay, the people who don't believe 9/11, was an act of a Saudi hijackers.
Right.
The people who believe 9/11 was an inside job. Yeah, those are the people I'm talking about. The people who believe Epstein did not kill himself and that he may be alive in his island. Those are the people who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they're millions.
Yeah. So people have questions about whether what's going on in the world is reasonable at all, or if there's some kind of conspiracy against us all, and especially Antifa. To me, just smacks of complete conspiracy. Like Antifa has no organization, it has no president, it has no meetings, it has you can't get a man.
Well, no, let me tell you this. I used to subscribe to this podcast called "It's the End of the World," and I know it. well, it's the end of the world, and we know it, and I feel fine.
Yeah.
And there was a host in there called the Stimulator, right? There's this Canadian guy. I don't know. I don't know what's his name. Frankie Lopez or something, right?
All right.
But he was organizing this whole thing where he was trying to basically uh, stimulate and agitate people into protest or anarchism, right?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if he was necessarily like a government-funded figure or somebody who was. It was pretty young in the internet still, so you couldn't really tell the difference at this point, right?
Or do you think it was just part of the flavor of their show and it was just kind of a joke?
Well, no, it wasn't because it was kind of like built as a podcast before YouTube was actually really big. You know,
Mm-hmm.
podcast was like going on in like 2008, 2009
All right.
before you actually got like really huge.
Okay.
And it basically spoke about anarchism, uh, you know, independence. It had guests that would talk about freedom fighters and things like that. And I used to like really pay attention to it. But then I started to realize that it was more like trying to encourage people into dangerous activism activities that would get them in trouble, you know? Because, you know, it's legal for you to go protest in front of a public building, right?
Right.
Totally legal. And if anyone arrests you for standing in front of a public building trying to make your point, you know, especially after you've given the city council notice or whatever,
Yep.
you know, that's unconstitutional and unlawful.
There's your law and
But
order, bitch.
right,
There's your
but
fucking law and
anyway,
order.
but anyway,
God damn it.
um, that is. Look, my point is this: um, that if you really wanted to create a change or anything like that, that you need to disrupt the normal course of business. You know, that you need to disrupt the business as usual.
Yeah. Power concedes nothing without a demand. You know, they're not just
Yeah,
gonna let us have a good world unless we demand it.
but I'm not saying vandalize. I'm not saying destroy
Yeah.
anything. I'm saying, you know what? Block the street somehow, creatively. You know, put like brick, mortar, brick and mortar statues, you know, in the middle of the road, and block the freeway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do it in a creative way, where people don't get harmed, where nobody gets compromised, because that's where they're trying to get us at. Okay,
Right.
think of this: if we stay too poor to protest because of the coronavirus, then we can't object to the ridiculous giveaways that they're giving themselves with these billions of dollars that they're giving to their friends, to the banks and to the airline industry and all this stuff. It's like there was already a stimulus bill passed. We only got $1,200 a piece, and everything else went to the billionaires.
So I think kind of what you said is that you kind of agree with me that powers that be, like in the media and stuff, are trying to pit us against each other, and some people like are secretly trying to get people to break the rules of peaceful protesting. And I would say cops are included in that because cops will go around breaking open the windows, and then people will loot.
Yep. In
And,
plain clothes, I've
yeah.
actually met police officers that go around popping windows and stuff and creating violence. And there's been mysteriously around Houston, Texas, pallets of bricks being dropped off around protest sites.
Yeah, where do those come from?
And they cost money.
Yeah,
I mean, someone has to pay a couple $100 to drop a pallet of bricks.
right.
You know?
Rent a forklift.
Yeah. Like
That's
who thinks that? Who does that?
not ordinary people, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all a show. Really, unless Nancy Pelosi and her government and the people in government in place are willing to fundamentally change the approach to policing, you know, whereas they could send someone basically non-lethally armed to deal with, I don't know, domestic and psychological situations or whatever, so that no one gets killed, you know,
Right.
so that at worst someone gets tased, you know,
Right.
at worst someone gets beanbagged or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that police in general should have lethal force. That's what I mean by defunding the police.
Well, yeah. In Great Britain, they don't even have guns, right?
Well, they have these stations where they can like log in their number and get a gun in case that they needed a weapon.
That's fair
But
enough.
for the most part, to arrest a person that is breaking the law, they don't even need a gun.
Right. Yeah, but we're the greatest country in the world, man. We got the
No,
greatest military.
no,
No,
no.
I'm being
Don't
sarcastic.
believe for a second. Don't even believe us. We everything that we are comes from China.
Right, I was gonna say earlier about China. They got us by the balls. All they have to do is flip a switch.
By everything, by the balls, by the asshole, by everything. You
Yeah.
know, seriously, if China decides one day to not trade with us, we would go into a hyperinflation
All,
because everything would have to get produced domestically, and then you would have to pay people to produce those goods. Those goods would cost more money.
all they have to do is call in our debt and then release all the U.S.
So,
dollars that they're holding on to, and that by
and they
itself
could
would
all around the world. They could
yeah,
easily.
yeah, that by itself would hyperinflate the dollar to the point where, man,
Yeah, where we have nowhere to go, where we have to produce our own resources or die.
Bitcoin, everybody, Bitcoin.
Hey, if there's not a stronger message, please. There's a number of ways that you can make Bitcoin and actually earn Bitcoin better than a bank account. You want me to tell you? Because I'm already a subscriber to like three of them.
Right,
All right, you want me to tell you?
go for it.
Okay. So there's crypto.com. You can buy crypto there and then put it in an account where you can earn crypto there. So it acts as a savings account. So whatever crypto you put there, you earn interest. A better one is called the Celsius wallet. Okay, Celsius, you can deposit your crypto, you can buy crypto, and then you earn up to a 4.5% interest rate on whatever you have there. So it's a really great method of saving. Another method is the Voyager wallet. The Voyager wallet will get you 3.5% in interest rate for having a minimum balance of 0.01 Bitcoin. So if you're interested in making Bitcoin and earning Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin and exiting this whole system, or basically protecting yourself against the collapse, this is the way to do it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, all right. We're almost at the half-hour mark. Is there anything that you have to say to help people figure out this messed up world that we're living in right now, and like maybe where we're going, maybe what we should
Hey,
be doing?
buy some land, grow some food, get some solar panels, get some windmills, become self-sufficient, become independent from the system, from the general thing. The supermarkets will crash, the economy will crash, everything will crash. Life in the city will also probably be a death trap. People in the country will have a greater advantage, and this is the way that societies overturn themselves. So prepare yourselves right now. Get a store of food, get a store of value, gold, Bitcoin, silver, heirloom seeds, land. Those are the valuable things. Everything else is bullshit. Please Yeah, heed my warning.
Wow. Podcasting used to be fun. I used to like look up a story of the week and talk about that, but like there's like 10 stories every day.
This is a totally different time, brother. Totally different time. Um, you know, we're 2020, about to go 2021. Who knows what will happen? I mean, you have a demented, senile, rapist, pedophile versus another pedophile, racist, demented person. Uh, you know, you have to vote for anyone else other than those two, for real.
I like that. I like that. All right. Bonus question, and then we'll wrap up. Do you think that Donald Trump will leave the office once we elect him out of office?
Yeah, yeah, he will, because I don't think he's accustomed to criticism all the time. I think that really affects him. Like a person with an ego that size doesn't like being criticized all the time.
Right, right. That makes sense. I think he'll walk out, but then he'll just keep complaining about it on Twitter for months and months.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
All right, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show and for being a
Oh,
big part of
brother,
the
my
show.
pleasure, my pleasure.
All right. Peace and love to you and to everyone. And
Peace
remember,
and love.
you are the revolution.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. The
God
buttons,
bless you
the
all.
buttons. All right. Thanks, man.
All right, peace.